It's the ABC 12 Highlight Zone, sponsored by Al Serra Auto Plaza. Now here's ABC 12 Sports Director Dave Ciseski.
Good evening and welcome to week 2 of the Highlight Zone presented by the Al Serra Auto Plaza. I'm Dave Ciseski. Tonight we kick off the action with a compelling showdown from Davison as the Cardinals hosting De La Salle, the Pilots. Two teams who have traded blows the last 2 years, with Davison pulling off a thrilling win 20-23 and De La Salle striking back with a statement victory last fall. Now they meet again with bragging rights and momentum on the line. Both teams came into week 1 with fire. Tonight, these two powerhouses renew their rivalry under the lights. Davison is led by two standout seniors, quarterback Jackson Dosh, the Western Michigan commit, and senior left tackle Ben Nichols protecting his blind side. The Davison offense looking to make a statement after their three-point performance last season. Airing the football out, Cortez Porter on the opening drive, setting the Cardinals up in De La Salle territory. Davison was hitting the big play early in this one, but couldn't find the end zone. Second quarter is where the Cardinals made their statement. Quarterback Jackson Dosh would keep the ball on a read option so convincing it fooled the cameraman out, putting Davison up 7-6 with his first touchdown on the night. De La Salle would take the field with 6 minutes to go in the first half, but a fourth down stand inside the Pilot 35-yard line would set Davison up with a chance to extend that lead. And the Cardinals would do just that. Jackson Dosh is going to get another opportunity here. He'll run it in for his second rushing touchdown of the night. You're going to see that coming up next here. He's an excellent quarterback, read option type of quarterback. He can throw, he can run, he can do it all. He'll follow the Notre Dame commit here, Ben Nichols. Davison leading 14-6 going into the half. The Cardinals would hold off a second half comeback attempt from De La Salle, getting revenge in a major early season victory, winning this one 23-21. Well, it's a true Flint area clash as Carmen-Ainsworth and Grand Blanc meeting. History on the Bobcat side, 10 wins in a row head-to-head. First quarter, no score, but not for long because Jake Money Morrow with a dime off the rollout to Kaysen Sendry for a 68-yard strike. Cats take the early 7-0 lead, and they weren't done. Ensuing kickoff, however, and Zantuan Blocker says, I don't need any blockers. He's off to the races for the kickoff return for a tutty. 7-6 after the failed point after. But Grand Blanc will then say, hey, anything you can do, we can do a little bit better here. Kickoff will come down to Micah Kemp, and Kemp will follow his blockers in. He's off for the races. How about the answer from the Cats with a 90-yard return for a touchdown of their own? Grand Blanc takes the 14-6 lead. Same score in the opening quarter. Off a turnover, Morrow and the offense hungry for more. Morrow hands it off to sophomore Ashton Brown, who bullies his way to the end zone for the 14-yard score. Make it 21-6 in a rout. Second quarter, the offense still cooking. Morrow fakes the handoff, then finds 6'3" senior Aaron Jones for the touchdown connection. How about this one? Cats win big 56-6 and improve to 2-0. Well, last year it took overtime tonight. Bay City Central and Flint Kearsley pick up their rivalry right where it left off. After the half, it's 0-0. Kearsley's Aiden Tipton fumbles a bad snap. It's recovered by Bay City Jackson Miller. And BCC starts it only scoring drive at 3 minutes into the third. Bay City Kevin Davis covers a lot of ground, then Colin Jacobs gets them even closer. A throw to Mac Edmonds gets them just inches from the end zone. And finally, against the pileup, BCC able to push Bo Frederick for the touchdown. 1-point conversion is good. BCC 7, Kearsley nothing at that point. Now, just 6:33 left in the third. The Hornets couldn't get the slide. That's going to be tipped in Riley Lewis all the way to the end zone. Lewis also gets past the 2-point conversion. It's good. BCC 7, Kearsley 8. Kearsley wins a defensive slugfest, 8-7 your final. Well, Freeland hosts in Bridgeport, and the Eagles have flat out dominated this series. 6 straight wins while outscoring the Bearcats nearly 300-50. Not a typo. Freeland gets the big rush on their first drive. That's from Parker Lettner, who would not come down. In fact, it took several players as Parker kept churning the legs all the way down the Bridgeport 7-yard line. In the very next play, Ryan Watkins runs it in for a touchdown. He lowers the shoulder and lays the hammer. Freeland up 7-0 and just getting started. Later in the first half, Bridgeport makes the mistake of trying to air it out, but Freeland says, nuh-uh, we'll take that. Xander Wheatley snaps it, and he got a wall of blockers in front of him. Wheatley takes the edge, and he's gone. Down the sideline, nothing but pay dirt ahead of him. Freeland wins big. Once again, 60-0. They improve to 2-0. Well, it's time to take a break, but when we return, we've got a good one. It's more than just a game at Midland Dow, and Saginaw Heritage renew their heated rivalry tonight. The Highlight Zone Game of the Week coming your way next. Welcome back. It's the matchup high school football fans have been waiting for. Our Game of the Week featuring the Chargers and the Hawks going head-to-head. These two programs have a rivalry that's built on close contests, big plays, and plenty of history. Tonight, they clash once again with pride, bragging rights, and early season momentum on the line. In our Game of the Week, well, the Hawks have had the Chargers number, taking both last year's matchups. How about that, including an OT thriller and playoff win? The Chargers looking for revenge, though, tonight in the first half. They do just that, going up 35-14. But the Hawks not letting them take one easily. Number 3, Jace Beam Lander stretching out to get the touchdown in the start of the second half, working to claw back, but they've missed the PAT. Dow showing what they got. They got a lot of talent. Huge run in the first half there with the lead. Randolph Garland, and look at him go inside the 30 and setting the offense up, looking pretty. Just a few plays later, Garland taking the Chargers back to pay dirt as he takes the carry right up the mouth of the defense and in for the score. Heritage would go on for more big plays, drawing within 2 scores, but it wouldn't be enough. Dow taking this Week 2 matchup 49-34 over the Hawks. Well, Frankenmuth hosting Swan Valley. Muth has dominated this series with 6 straight wins, outscoring the Vikings 259-103. This one starting off a bit tighter, certainly a defensive matchup. The Vikings not letting it rip through the air. Both teams keeping the ground game going and waiting for someone to get momentum. But Muth would start the engine late in the first quarter, picking up a muff punt in enemy territory. Quarterback Leighton Horde dropping a dime to Cash Tedford, capitalizing on the Vikings' mistake. Another short Swan Valley drive later. It's the Eagles marching right down again. It's going to be Horde this time. He's going to have the option play working. He'll take off, stop just shy of the 15-yard line. Horde had that working, and he was all over the field. Then a quick dump-off pass to Ryu Deal. That put the Eagles up 14-0 before the half. They keep the lead through the rest of this matchup. Frankenmuth Eagles taking down Swan Valley. How about it? After a huge redemption win over Frankenmuth, Goodrich heads to Lapeer tonight for the first ever meeting between these two programs. Hard to believe, but coming off the halftime, Goodrich would receive the kickoff lead in 13-7. But after a 4th down stop, the Lapeer offense would go to work with a huge run from junior Lincoln Hensel, putting Lapeer in the red zone. Then quarterback Cameron Vernack rolling to his left. He would evade not 1, not 2, but 3 Martian defenders while fighting for the goal line. The Lightning would turn to the Wildcat formation, and after that, and after a direct snap, the running back Lincoln Hensel, Lapeer would take a 14-13 lead over the Martians. Goodrich would respond with an aggressive drive to end of the third quarter, converting on a 4th and 7 here. That's running back Jonathan Kane, who was just bouncing off defenders, setting the Martians up on the Lapeer side of the field, and his time expires in the third. How about this? Senior Jacoby Leggett would punch the ball into the end zone, giving the lead back to Goodrich. A successful 2-point conversion would be the last score of the game. Martians win 21-14. Well, it's time now to check in on our Spotlight scoreboard. Bentley moves to 2-0 with the 20-6 win over Beecher. The D7 defending champion Millington Cardinals, they moved to 2-0, 53-14. That win over Sterling. Saginaw United coming off a thumping from Freeland. Fortunately, more of the same tonight. They fall 35-0 to Mount Pleasant. And Linden, how about them? Coming off a huge Week 1 win tonight, they moved to 2-0. Final score, 39-13. Nice win for the Eagles. And how about our highlight of the night? It came from the Grand Blanc Bobcats senior Micah Kemp with a 90-yard return for a tutty. Blazing speed from Kemp, and no one was catching him. Kemp helping the Cats cruise to victory as they move to 2-0 and get this with 2 returns for touchdowns in this game from them. That was one of them right there. Micah Kemp, your Highlight Zone highlight of the night. Well deserved, young man. Well, does your school have what it takes? Are you part of the loudest, most spirited student section around? Welcome to the Elga Fan Zone, where we shine a spotlight on the best high school student sections across mid-Michigan. Tonight, we're showcasing incredible fans from across the region, including Davison, Grand Blanc, Carmen-Ainsworth, Goodrich, and Lapeer. But who will move on in the competition? That's up to you, the viewers. Just head to abc12.com to cast your vote in the online poll. A new winner will be crowned each week, but only one school will take home the title of Ultimate Elga Fan Zone Champion. Tonight, we asked the Cardinals and Martians why they think their fans are the best of the best. Let's hear what they had to say.
I think we're a competitive school. I think there's nobody that can mess with us in the league or at all.
I feel like we're heavy football orientated, and the school helps know that. They help get the information out to football in the student section. That's why we're so livid and hyped and ready for the Davison Cardinals to beat De La Salle.
Go Cards! Well, I think it comes from being a village. You know, we're a small community. We come out here to support the boys on a Friday night, and this is how we like to do it. But this is a week-long preparation, starting Friday nights after games, Saturday mornings. We're letting everyone know what the theme is, where to pop out, letting everyone know around school, and that's how we show up like this.
Well, as the Detroit Lions prepare their season opener against the Green Bay Packers coming up, head coach Dan Campbell was asked if the team is chomping at the bit to get back on the field, especially after last season's crushing loss to Washington that ended their year abruptly. Campbell says the team is ready to cut it loose and play some football that actually counts.
Well, I don't know how much it's really like, okay, you know, that was the last thing, and I think really I know for me, and I kind of get the sense it's about, man, here we go. It's the next season. It's 2025. It's the first game of the year, out on the road, division opponent. Most of our guys did not play in the preseason, so like this is awesome. You know, you're ready to go. I mean, you're ready to compete and cut it loose. Games that count, real football, the whole thing, and I think that's really more of the excitement as opposed to what had happened previously.
And Michigan head coach Sherrone Moore returns to his alma mater this Saturday when the Wolverines face Oklahoma in a primetime showdown. Despite his emotional ties to Norman, Moore insists this is about the kids. It's not about me. He also warned it's going to be loud, calling the game environment SEC-like and emphasizing Michigan's preparation.
Much respect to a lot of people on their staff. You know, Brent was my defensive coordinator. Kevin Wilson's on their staff now. He was my offensive coordinator. John Finley is the tight end coach. He was the tight end when I was playing there. DeMarco Murray was the running back when I was there, and he's a running back coach. So a lot of people that I know on the staff and have a lot of respect for it. It's a great town, great place, but this is about the kids. You know, it's not about me. It's not about any return to home for me. It's about the players on our football team going to go try to win a game.
Well, Michigan State is set to host Boston College this weekend in a matchup that promises some intriguing storylines. Last year, these two teams met with Boston College coming on top 23-19 in a game in which the Spartans committed 4 turnovers, including one in the final minute. But the Spartans head coach Jonathan Smith says he welcomes the challenge. He's a fan of competitive non-conference games and sees some interesting similarities between the two programs, which should make for a hard-fought, exciting contest on the field.
Like that we're playing at home. Yes, there is some familiarity. We played them last year. I think both staffs have some continuity on staff. So schematics, learning from game one to the second time you're playing them from last year. I think they're the same as us with the coordinator level and things like that. So like it. Big opponent in our place, non-conference. Every game's really important. It's still really early in the season, but we're trying to play really well.
Well, that's it for week 2 of the Highlight Zone. But before we go, we want to send our thoughts and prayers to Eagles fullback Ben Van Summeren, a Bay City native, a proud Garber High School alum. He suffered a tough injury last night. Our hearts are with him. We're wishing a speedy recovery. Get well soon, Ben. Have a great night, everyone, and have a great weekend. We'll see you.